Try this over again and see if we can get it under control. Michael, if you come back, I hope that the sound is better. I have no idea what's going on over there. But look, this is Misha, and I want to talk to you guys about skin, but I also want to talk to you about any of these things. If this sounds like you or if it feels like you and you haven't gotten answers, let me know. Every week I try to go over different things that are happening with people in regards to insulin resistance. This week I'm focusing on skin, but I'm here to answer any questions you have. Doesn't have to be about skin. So I want to get this shut down. There we are. So guys, this is real. And where I was talking earlier, this thing with our skin, understand that our skin is an early warning system for our body. It's protectant for us, but it's also early warning. So if you're having problems with insulin resistance, if you're having problems internally, it's going to show up in your skin. And the major ways that it shows up with insulin resistance are these skin tags, this dark skin patches, and acne. And so there's different ways that insulin resistance causes all of these things. If you guys don't know what insulin resistance is, let me know. I'll slow down and tell you what it is. But for the rest of you who've heard me before, let's dive in. So with insulin resistance, it causes, remember I talk about sometimes it causes overproduction in some areas and then other areas are just shut down to it. So some of the places it causes overproduction are in our androgens and a hormone called IGF-1 or insulin-like growth factor. So it's causing too much oil production in your glands under your skin, which is causing blockages, which ends up as this cystic type acne. So you can do all the cleaning you want. You can, like we went through this, you'll see a video yesterday from my daughter. She did all of the things. We did Proactive. We did all of the expensive creams, skincare. We washed her sheets. We bought non-allergenic detergent. We did the whole thing trying to figure out her acne, and it just didn't get better, and it lasted into her adulthood. She got better after she started the system. Now, the protocol that I talk about, it's not just about your weight loss. It's not just about diabetes. It's not just about all those things. Your skin is really, really central in this whole thing of insulin resistance. So if you're suffering with acne that you just can't get rid of, and how many of you guys have ever been told that your acne may be from insulin resistance, that it could be an overproduction of these oils in your body, that it has nothing to do with genetics, it has nothing to do with you not being clean enough, it has nothing to do with all of that. It just is a factor of this insulin resistance that's going on in your system. So when you can understand what's causing that type of acne and understand that, yeah, you still need to take care of your skin, but if you address that root cause from the inside, your acne could get better. It did for my daughter. She wouldn't wear clothes that showed her back or her arms most of her adult life because she was so embarrassed by the acne that was all over her skin. This last summer, after she's been on the protocol consistently for about a year, I went up and realized that she is wearing, back to Washington State where she lives, she's wearing like sleeveless shirts. She's wearing things that are a little lower in the back. She's showing more of her skin. Why? Because she doesn't have all of that acne all over her body anymore. Did she make any major changes to her life? Well, she started the protocol, and we're going to talk about that in a little bit. But so understand that acne can be driven by insulin resistance. I'm not going to say that all acne is caused by insulin resistance, but a good amount of it can be. So why not address that and see if it gets better for you? But if you have dark skin patches, that's an early warning sign of insulin resistance. So if you're noticing dark skin patches like on those knees up there, either in your knees, on your elbows, or on your neck, under your arms, in your groin, that's your body saying, hey, there's way too much insulin in my body, and so I'm producing way too many of this skin pigmentation called melanin and melanocytes, and that's causing these dark patches. But it can also cause this thing that people call melasma. I suffered with it for years, and what I was told was to just stay out of the sun. Don't go in the sun, and it will get better. Okay, on Facebook, is my sound better now? Please tell me yes or no. I'm trying to work on what this glitch is. So that's directly related to insulin resistance. If you see somebody that you love and you know they're struggling with their health, and you see these dark skin patches, this has not so much to do with genetics as it has to do with this overproduction of insulin in your system, and that's your body saying, hey, there's a problem, okay? So I need to move that picture apparently. All right, so there's that. Then the skin tags are very similar. Your body's producing too many keratinocytes in result of having too much insulin in the body. And those keratinocytes are just skin cells that are starting to pop out because there's too much cell production in an area. So now they're showing up as protrusions of skin. Those will go away. You don't have to have them cut off. You don't have to have them lasered off. You don't have to go through any crazy medical procedure to have them go away. I had them all over under my arms and in my groin. Within 3 months of starting the protocol, they were gone, and they've never returned. That's one of the ways. These two right here are two of the ways that I check daily to make sure, am I still being insulin sensitive? Do I still have things under control, regardless of what else is going on with my health? Am I getting that root cause taken care of? So I watch my elbows and my knees. If they're getting dark again, then I know that I'm out of control. If I start having skin takes pop up, I know that there's a problem. So luckily for me, because I've been doing the protocol for 2 years now, I have not had any problem with either of those. And so that's a good indication for me that we're on the right path to taking care of my health, okay? So scan is huge. I'm dropping videos all week explaining all of this, so watch for those videos. And then you guys just tell me how much are skin issues bothering you? And did you even understand that these things could be a warning sign for you? So when people ask me all the time, how can I tell if it's me? Well, be honest and look at yourself. If you're seeing dark skin patches or you're having skin tags, it's you. It's you. So if you see those things, understand that it's time to start getting it under control, okay? But now I'm not going to say that insulin resistance causes psoriasis or eczema, but I am going to say that it exacerbates it. So I know people who have had lifelong horrible bouts with psoriasis who started the protocol, and within a few months, their psoriasis flares calmed down and they don't have them. The last I heard, we're not having flares anymore. So I don't have a picture of psoriasis up, but I will be doing a video on that later this week. So psoriasis is this white, patchy, and pinkish red patches of skin that are itchy, embarrassing, and painful. But people who are doing the protocol, have noticed an increase in sensitivity or a decrease in sensitivity to those symptoms of psoriasis and eczema. They just have clearer skin and better days of clearer skin. But you guys, I want to tell you, this insulin resistance, so I have the aging in here because it relates to your skin. So if your skin is looking thin and super wrinkly and all of that, that is also exacerbating your aging process. So if you want to slow down the aging process, take care of your insulin, because when you have too much sugar, too much insulin in your system, it's actually causing more wrinkling. It's actually causing more laxity in your skin. Your skin just isn't regenerating like it's supposed to when you're already having a loss of regeneration in your skin cells. Insulin resistance is making that even worse. So there's a reason my skin looks better at 59 than it did at 49, and it's because I finally addressed my insulin resistance. So if any of those sound like you, this could be you, okay? But when we talk about aging, when we're having those problems of that wrinkling, it also leads to bone loss, muscle loss, and that arthritis that we're suffering from. I'll be going over that later this week too. So if you're insulin resistant, let's talk about that. You guys ready? So I have an ebook that you guys can download that will explain the simple steps you can take to help yourself become more insulin sensitive. And so let's go over those 6 simple steps real quick. So you want to get in fiber first before you eat, every time you eat. Because our food is imperfect, fibers have been stripped out of even our raw organic food. So you go to the store, you think you're getting fresh fruits and vegetables that are really healthy for you, and they probably are, but they've still been stripped and modified so that they don't have the same amount of fibers that they used to have. Now your food is reacting differently in your body, converting to glucose way too quickly, and that's causing us to be sick. So fiber first before you eat, every time you eat. Me, I don't get in all the fibers that I need. So I supplement. I choose to supplement. I know a lot of people who can do it and be vegan and do all those things, eat the rainbow, all of that. It just doesn't, it's not my lifestyle. So I got to fix that. There we are. Um, so I supplement, and that makes my day easier. And I'll show you what those are in a second. So fiber first, then you want to prioritize protein. Most of us are not getting in enough protein. So not only are we not getting energy to our cells, but to our all important muscles, we're not getting the building blocks they need. And I'm not talking about bodybuilder muscle. I'm not talking about fitness competitor muscle. I'm not talking about any of that. I'm talking about down to earth, real human being. We need muscle to move through life and to survive. We sit on our butts too much and we don't get enough protein. So we got to prioritize protein. And then you want to fill up with healthy fats. So healthy fats are not what you're being told they are. So seed oils, vegetable oils, those are not healthy fats. It's amazing to me. I was doing some research yesterday on seed oils. I'll get into that in a minute. But there's a lot of reasons those are not really good for you. The oils you want to focus on happen to be saturated or do happen to be saturated fats. So it's going to be things like coconut oil, extra virgin olive oil. If you guys don't know, a lot of oil contains cottonseed oil because it's cheap to produce, but it's very damaging. So look at your olive oil and make sure that it's pure olive oil or don't get it. Like, yes, it's going to cost more, but it's going to cost less in the long term because you're putting less toxins in your body. Olive oil, avocado oil, coconut oil, butter, ghee, and your animal fats, those are healthy fats. They're not causing your cholesterol problem. The sugars and how they convert in the system are what's causing that internal cholesterol that's causing the problems in your heart and blood pressure and all of the other areas it touches, okay? So let's be clear about that. So oils, fiber, protein, fats. Then you want to do some time-based eating. You've got to let the insulin have a rest. I'll go over that in a little bit if anybody needs clarification on why I'm so adamant about intermittent fasting, because you need to do it. We were never meant to eat as much as we're being told to eat now. The food industry is telling you that because they want to sell you more chips and snacks and protein bars and whatever they can produce that you're going to buy and eat. They're going to sell it to you, and they're going to tell you you need to do it every 2 hours, because if you're not buying food every 2 hours, their bottom line changes drastically. Okay, so stop eating all the time. Then move your body. You guys, we live in a society where we are more sedentary than ever, and that includes me. I've had to work in times in my day to work out more because now that I've been doing working from home, I just tend to sit at my computer all day, and that's not healthy. So fiber, protein, fats, limit your carbs, do some time-based eating, and move your body. Now, if that at all seems like, okay, that's fine, but it's not working for you, what I do is the protocol I talk about all the time is this. I spilled Unimate Black on my packages last night. What? Okay, so I do a tea in the morning. It's in my cup over here. It gives me mental clarity and energy. It gives me physical energy without giving me crashes. It helps me burn fat for fuel. It shuts down my hunger during a fasting state because I'm now burning my own fat for fuel instead of burning insulin and glucose for fuel. Okay, the food that we inject. So this helps me make it through that fasting with ease. Plus, it gives me great components to the brain. Then, when I do eat, about 16 hours after my dinner, I'll have a pre-meal drink that gives me those fibers that I talk about, and it helps protect my gut from all the food I'm about to eat and slows down how quickly they convert into sugars in my system, which is missing from our food today. So I drink this 10 minutes before I eat, wait 4 to 6 hours, eat again, drink another one before I eat, I'm done. That's how I reversed my insulin resistance, my diabetes in 3 months. It was actually 6 months before my levels actually dropped down to. So in 3 months, it dropped down from an A1C of 7.4 to 6.1. And then in the next 3 months, it dropped down below 5.6. And the last reading I had, it was at 5.3. I'm off of 10 different medications, and that's all I had to do. So this was me before, and 50 pounds later. You guys all adjust this background, but that was me before and after. You can't see this lovely woman. Her her pictures are insane. She's lost 50 pounds as well. I've had women and men lose well over 100 pounds on the system. What I want you to understand with weight loss is that it's not all about the weight on the scale. So you guys, if you're interested in the system that I just showed you, the protocol that helped me get my diabetes under control and all of that, just tap on my picture up here in Facebook, YouTube. I'm going to send you guys a link, and you can just click on that. Now, I had some questions over the last few days. A number of people who've been watching and listening to what I talk about, and they said, well, how much does my coaching cost? If they decide to do the protocol and they want coaching and help from me, I am men. Yes, you are. Does fasting raise your cortisol? That's a really good question. It depends on what you're doing and how you're doing your fasting, and are you getting rest? So a 16-8 fast does not increase your cortisol in the manner that you're thinking about. So insulin resistance increases cortisol, and cortisol increases insulin resistance. So when you're not getting rest and you're doing longer term fasts, yes, your cortisol levels can go up, but there becomes a balance point. If you're overweight, your cortisol is going to go up less than it is if you're lean, okay? Your doctor does not test for insulin. Normally, you have to ask for a fasting insulin test. And no, I'm not a physician. I'm a woman who worked for physicians for years, got really sick when they couldn't help me, figured it out on my own. And now my doctors are telling me they're really glad that I'm out here talking about it. So I've never claimed to be a physician. Does fasting, okay, can I talk more about fiber? So fiber there's different types of fiber in every food we eat. Not every food is equivalent on the fiber scale. So I have a fiber that I take when I'm doing a cleanse. It has like 27 different types of fiber in it, and they're made to just like power clean my insides. What I'm talking about now are specific fibers that help reduce blood sugar levels. The fiber and the pre-meal drink that I showed reduces, scientifically proven studies that it reduces a blood sugar spike by 27% with one packet. It reduces your insulin levels or your insulin spike by 13% one packet. When you add two packets, it's not reducing the sugar level as much, but it's reducing the insulin spike by like 27%. So if I have a meal full of carbs like pasta, or I go out for anything that's Italian and less protein and more carbs, I will have 2 packets, keeping my insulin's levels down. So Julia says her A1C is 5.5. And what was your A1C at before? Because I'd love to know that. So I don't sure what you doubt, Stella. There's lots of people out there who doubt lots of things, and everybody has different opinions. I'm here to serve the people who need help. Your Pedro is 6.6. You guys, I also just recently posted a video, and I'll try to do better at posting that more often, but there's a video I did on a calculation that you can do that helps tell if you're insulin resistant. Now, how it tells if you're insulin resistant, it's also predicting heart problems. It's posted by the NIH and by Dr. Bickman, who is a top metabolic scientist. They do it because it predicts what type of LDL your body is producing, whether it's type A, a larger, more buoyant LDL, or type B, a smaller, denser LDL. The more type B, the more problems you're going to have with cholesterol and blockages in your veins. But the more type B you have, the more likely you are that you're insulin resistant, because that's how you produce this excess amount of type B LDL in your system. So are you guys ready? You got a pen and paper? You can go back and find the video. But if you have labs that you've had done recently, physical or metabolic panel, you should be able to go down to your lipid panel and find your cholesterol and your HDL and LDL. For the calculation, we're not going to look at the LDL, we're going to look at the HDL. So you want to find your triglyceride number, and you want to find your HDL, your high density lipoprotein, or lipoprotein, and then you're going to divide the triglyceride by the HDL. Now, the number that you come up with should be 2.0 or less. I know in Dr. Bickman's book, he talks about 2.0. I know in other talks, he said he would prefer it to be 1.5 or less. Regardless, if you're at 2.0 or higher, you would likely have an insulin resistance problem and you need to start addressing it. Simple calculation with the labs you already have. Do you have to be tested for it? No, you can absolutely tell by some of the symptoms going on in your body. So all of these are symptoms. Psoriasis and eczema, they're not caused by insulin resistance, but they're exacerbated by it. Bone loss, muscle loss, cartilage loss, arthritis, those can all be caused by insulin resistance. But when we talk about excess weight that won't go away, when we talk about bloating, low energy, diabetes, erectile dysfunction, high cholesterol, thyroid, high blood pressure, migraines, acid reflux, and sleep apnea, all of those are symptoms of insulin resistance. So 6.6, Pedro, your A1C is 6.6 now. Are you on the protocol? I don't know what you're saying with that. All right, so I hope that makes sense to everyone. A little bit of sense, a little bit. If you're suffering with any of those things, let me know. Let's talk about it. Because you guys, almost everything on this list, not the erectile dysfunction, but everything else I was suffering with. And my doctor, bless her heart, I think she's brilliant, but she couldn't figure out what was going on. She ran we did MRIs, we did CAT scans because I was having neuropathy. I was losing feeling in my right arm. I had so many other things happening and we couldn't get my weight down. And so in desperation, when I found the protocol online, I'm like, I got to do something. I'm going to try this. So I did, it worked. And here I am 2 years later. My diabetes is still reversed and I'm just feel better. Stopping sugar is a good idea. Yes. But let's talk about this, guys. I want everybody to understand that your health does not have to be drastically difficult. Okay. So how I manage it and still have cupcakes and stuff every once in a while. I don't do it very often, but when I want them, I can have them. Sorry, my back hurts today. So I start my day with a tea that helps me shut down my hunger, helps me get through a 16-8 fast. Yep. Low carb, 2 meals a day. But now for people who don't feel like they can get through that or they just want the added boost, this is what I do. So I do this tea. It helps me shut down my hunger so I feel more satiated. I don't really get hungry until about noon. It also helps me produce my own ketones so that they're telling my body to burn fat for fuel. That's why I have energy all morning, because my body is now burning on the excess fuel I already have in my system. Then when I do eat, to get those fibers in that I keep talking about, I supplement. So I drink this 10 minutes before I eat, every time I eat, and that's it. I don't drink coffee in the morning. I just have my tea. So there are things with coffee. There are positives and negatives with coffee. Coffee has some good things in it, but it has some things that they found to be damaging. I prefer the tea. The yerba mate tea gives me about the same caffeine as in a cup of coffee, but it has 3 components that we'll call adaptogens that help regulate how that caffeine affects your body. So now you're not getting the increased heart rate. You're not getting the gut issues. You're not getting all of those when you have this tea that we're drinking that's a natural tea. International shipping is available. We're available in about 30 countries worldwide. And there are distribution centers near each one of those major areas. So we have distribution centers in the South Pacific. We have them in the UK. We have them in the UAE. We have them here in the US and in Canada now. So we have them all over. You'll be able to get it, not waiting for it to come from the US. It will come from a distribution center near you. So, and the link that's in my profile, you guys use that link or the one that I posted here in Facebook. That link will take you, that link works based on your IP address. So wherever you are in the world, if there's a distribution center near you, if it's available in your country, because it's a natural product that helps with health, we do have to clear through countries and we're working hard on that. But that works on your IP address. So when you click that link, it's going to take you to the website that's closest to you. Now, also when you use the link, you get connected to me. You want to make sure it says Michelle Fayant at the top. When you click buy now, you're going to get the customer pricing, the best pricing, but you're also going to get a 90-day money back guarantee. You're going to get the quality guarantee, and you're going to get the low price guarantee. So that means you're covered. Do it for 60 days, 90 days. If you are not feeling better in 90 days, if you have not noticed that your health has improved and you don't feel like this is the thing for you, you get your money back. But you've got to commit to 90 days. It's a real food system. So this is not, look, I was sick for 40 years. Did I expect? I did. You guys, I'm not going to lie. At 30 days out, I was like, I'm not losing weight. What's going on? This is some BS. And then I was encouraged to take a look at all the other things that were getting better. I wasn't having leg cramps every morning. I wasn't in pain every night. I wasn't having sleep apnea. I wasn't having brain fog and headaches and extreme fatigue, and I wasn't having cravings. And then at 6 weeks, I started losing weight. So weight, let's talk about, you guys want to know about the weight loss thing? Let's talk about that, because I want people to understand weight loss with insulin resistance. And I want you to understand why it's different for you when you're highly insulin resistant than when you're not. If you're going by typical methods of just calorie counting and excess exercise, that was hard for me to say, you're going to be losing more muscle than you are fat when you start losing with insulin resistance. Insulin resistance is already causing you to produce less muscle. That's why one of the things I talk about is getting in enough protein. You need that protein. Your body's been resistant to taking it up and getting energy to your muscles. As you become more insulin sensitive, your body starts getting more energy to the muscles. But you've got to do it right, or you start losing more muscle than you do fat. And so you end up, so this leads into things like Ozempic, Mounjaro, Trulicity, all of those things that are causing people to lose weight, that are really popular right now, but they're starting to notice that they got no butt, their face is droopy, there are other places in their body that are droopy, but they lost weight, because those are having you lose muscle more than they're having you lose fat. So yes, you're losing weight. Understand that muscle weighs more per volume than fat does. So when you start the system, I'm going to encourage you to look at your body size, take your measurements, check your clothes. If those are fitting better, if your measurements are going down and the weight on the scale isn't going down, yay! Because when that happens, what it means is you're actually putting on lean muscle that's natural muscle that you needed in the first place, while the fat is coming off. So you're just having a swap of that weight in your body, and then at some point it starts to reverse and you'll start losing weight, because now your natural lean muscle is put back and you're really showing the weight difference because of the fat loss. Okay, you're still having fat loss, but you're gaining muscle when you're in doing this whole insulin resistance thing the right way. Skin tags don't have to bother you. I hated them too. Valor, I had them all under my arms. They were starting to be in my groin. I'm a single grandma. It was embarrassing. It was like, I just thought that this is what my life was, because I'm a grandma now and I don't have any skin tags now. I don't have a single one. And I've never had a medical procedure to have them removed. In fact, when I started the system, I was starting to get these little bumps along the side of my neck and under here, and I couldn't figure out what it was. They were skin tags starting to grow. They were that excess keratinocytes growing. They're all gone now. So you guys just get your insulin under control and your skin tags will get better. 5 milligrams Mounjaro for a while now and have lost nothing, but they don't want to increase it because it can be very dangerous. Yeah, so Mounjaro, Trulicity, those things. What's happening? There's a number of actions that are happening. Number one, it's making you a bit nauseous, so you're not wanting to eat. Okay, so yes, you're not eating, but if you're not addressing the root cause of the fact that you're not getting fibers in to slow down the sugars, you're going to have problems. Now, it's also creating glucagon-like peptide. And what happens is you're starting to force energy into cells that we're not wanting to take them up before. So there can be some changes, but think about the cost of when you're forcing your body to do something that it doesn't want to do because you already have too much insulin. It's not addressing the too much insulin. It's actually forcing you to produce more insulin. So now a pancreas that's already taxed and producing too much insulin, causing this whole problem, they're giving you a medication that's forcing that pancreas to produce more of that substance that's already causing the problem to try and get ahead of it, right? Well, I guess that could make some sense, but I think that's a pretty good recipe for disaster. You guys, I mean, I don't know, I could be wrong, but in 10 years from now, you know the movie that's out called Painkiller about oxytocin? I think those Mounjaro Trulicity things, something similar is going to be happening. They're causing more health issues than, and you know what? When they're doing it for weight, it's not a good thing anyway. Your tags hurt and itch. So I would get that checked by a doctor. So Trisha, do you have to keep going in and having your skin tags burnt off? Do they keep growing back? Because what you're doing is it's like what can I say? What can I say? It's like pulling weeds in a garden and never getting the rest of the weeds out. You're just going to keep growing them until you address the root cause. They don't have to be there. You're just burning them off to make it look better, but you're not addressing the reason of why they're there. Ooh, they had you on everything, didn't they? So, can I ask you a question, Valere? Um, well, if you haven't addressed your insulin resistance, Trisha, they will come back, and that's your choice. That's your choice. I'm just going to say everybody gets to make their choice. If you want to go have them burnt off or lasered off, great. When they start growing back, remember me, okay? Because I'm telling you, the root cause of those is insulin resistance, and if you're not addressing that, they're just going to keep coming back, okay? Valere, so what I want to ask you is, if you're trying all these medications and they're afraid of health implications because of the medications, would you be willing to try something that is natural, that's actually helping your body become more healthy instead of tearing it down and forcing it into processes that it doesn't want to do? Would you be willing to give 90 days to see if that could help you? I've had so many people whose blood sugars have gotten better, whose A1C, whose lipids have gotten better, who've reversed their PCOS, their erectile dysfunction, who've lost weight, who've reversed, like me, their eyesight damage. I'm almost 60, so am I ever going to get back to my 30-year-old eyesight? I don't know, but I'm back to my 45-year-old eyesight. I always say 10 years, but I have to realize now it's like 15 years of eye damage that has been reversed and staved off now since I started the system. So, yeah, so Trisha Marie, if you have type 2 diabetes, understand that type 2 diabetes is end stage insulin resistance. So type 2 diabetes, prediabetes are resultant of insulin resistance. So it goes like this. Food that's turning into sugar too quickly in our body, or us just eating too much sugar and eating too often, creates too much insulin in the body, or hyperinsulinemia. Long-term hyperinsulinemia becomes insulin resistance. Insulin resistance can be present in your body for 14, 20 years before you ever start to have prediabetes. Then you get prediabetes, and then it starts all of a sudden seemingly rapidly turning into type 2 diabetes. But it's a progression. So when we reverse the root cause of food turning into sugar too quickly, we reverse the root cause of eating too often, we start to get better. Oh, holy cats. Like, so how many medications and prescriptions are you on now, Valere? Because I was on 10 when I started the system, and within 2 months, again, I say this all the time, this is not what I recommend for other people. I did it for myself because I'm impatient and stubborn. I looked at my counter, and I've never been a huge proponent of medications unless it's something like post-surgical for antibiotics for infection and that kind of thing. But I've never been a proponent of other medications because I just think that we should deal with things more naturally. Also understand that almost every disease and disorder that we have today that's lifestyle related, meaning not genetic or viral, is linked to insulin resistance. So I was on 10 different medications. It's been 2 years since I refilled any of those medications for my blood pressure, for my diabetes, for any of it. So IBS is also linked to insulin resistance. So you're probably on almost as many or as many medications as I was. Now look, the system costs about $5 a day, the protocol does, but it's natural foods that's building your system back up instead of tearing it down. When I look at all the medications I was on, it was a little over $100 in copays for those medications that were making me sicker. They really weren't addressing the root cause. So I was on medications. I really kinked my back last night. I was on medications for my blood pressure. Those weren't helping. We had been doing different medications for 20 years and nothing was getting my blood pressure down. So I did the system, and like last night, after rushing around and doing all the things, at the end of the day, my blood pressure was 110/74. No medications. My blood pressure used to be 180/150 at some point during every day. The best we could get it to during an office visit at the doctor's was 150/110. So 110/74 is phenomenal. It's life-saving. I probably did damage to my heart by the long-term hypertension. So I'm doing a lot of different things right now, including intermittent fasting, to help me get my health back from all the damage that I caused over 40 years of time. You guys, it's not like you're going to damage your body for 40 years and you're going to just turn around and fix it in a week or 2 weeks. I had somebody write me about 2 weeks into the system and they're like, yeah, well, this and this and this didn't get better. It's not for me. Okay. You took 40 years to damage your body and you gave it 2 weeks to get better with natural processes. That doesn't make sense. So again, I'm going to tell you, I love the protocol. I wish everybody would be on the protocol because I believe everybody can use it. I've had vegans and pescatarians do it and find that their health got better. But if you can't commit to your health and to 90 days, then don't even start. You guys, if you cannot understand that your health and you are worth the effort that it takes to try a system for 90 days, then just don't do it. So I would rather you not waste your time and my time by doing that. But now back to the coaching. So you get me for free, by the way. I had a number of messages yesterday, like, how much does it cost me? You get me for free. You start getting emails from me when you purchase it. You start getting text from me when you purchase it. You get a video from me. I check in on you. We can get on the phone if you want. We go over stuff. You get me as little or as much as you need. Some people don't even want to talk to me. It's like, I want to do the system. Leave me alone. That's fine. Other people are like, hey, I need help. That's fine. So you get a hold of it by going to my profile link up here. So let's take a look at what that's going to look like. On YouTube, Facebook, I dropped the link in there for you guys. So let's take a look at where you're going to go to find the system. Let's get rid of this one. Everybody over on Facebook and YouTube is seeing my Canva right now. All right, let's take a look, you guys. So click on my picture up above. That's going to take you to my profile. But let's look at what that looks like. Flip. What I need to do is take this off. That's what I'm doing. You guys, technology gets me. I like to think I'm all tech savvy, but you know. All right, so when you click on my profile link, you're going to get to my page, Nisha Fayant. It's going to look a little like this. You'll see these red lights under there, and you'll see a link right under those red lights. If you click on that link, it's going to take you to my landing page. So my link is right in my profile on YouTube. It's in my profile on Facebook. It's in my profile on TikTok. Just go there, and all of them will take you here. So you just click here. That's going to take you to the purchase page for the system. Now, when you see my name at the top, you're getting the best price guarantee. So you're getting the same price that I get. You don't pay more than me. And then you just click on the buy now. And this is what you're going to get. So you're going to get 30 of that tea that you're going to have hot or cold in the morning. I like mine cold, but I do have it hot from time to time. You're going to get 60 of the pre-meal drink, and right now it comes in this amazing apple flavor. So I would do that, but here it is. So lemon or lemon ginger for the tea. For your first time, just do lemon. Just trust me, just do lemon. It tastes like a light lemon iced tea. And again, you can have it hot or cold. And I have a bunch of recipes where you can add different things. I added chai spice into mine the other day, hot. Amazing, amazing. Okay, you can get the fiber in apple crush or orange. Apple crush is a limited time offer, so I would do that. You can get the orange anytime. Then you want to select one-time purchase or monthly. And yes, it's $159 one time, $154 monthly. With monthly, here in the US, you're getting free shipping. So that saves you about another $10. You can cancel this at any time. You get emails before it goes out, 5 days before your next one goes out. But you also, the first time, get this free hand mixer. So that's where you're going to go to buy it. If you guys have questions about that, there's a video dropped in the top of my pinned videos on YouTube, on TikTok. Sorry, I'm so confused this morning. On TikTok, there's a video posted up there so that you can find where to buy it. Okay. So I hope that answers that. And then if you need help, you guys, there's on that link also, it's not just about the sales page. There's a free ebook with all those 6 steps you can download. Do that. It's free for you. It talks about the 6 simple steps that I talked about and how to go about them. There's a WhatsApp download for there if you need to just talk to me. Look, I don't expect you to just take my word for it. I felt like my back was backed up against a wall, and so I just did what I thought I needed to do. And I was like, it has a 90-day money back guarantee. So I'm going to do what I need to do to get my health back. And I'm really, really happy that I did, because after trying so many other things, this actually worked when nothing else did. All right. Let's see what we got going on here. So no, it's not just daily tea. Constipation gets better. Okay. All right. Constipation. So constipation can be a problem with a negative gut microbiome, and you not getting in enough fibers, you're not getting in enough liquids. So this, you guys, I had uncontrolled IBS when I started. Uncontrolled IBS. It was horrible. It was devastating. I'm not even going to get into all the nasty details, but it was devastating as an adult. I felt like a child. And I don't have those problems anymore. So it's not just a tea. The tea in the morning that helps you with hunger, gives you energy, helps kick up your ketones so you're burning fat for fuel, and helping when your insulin level is down, helping support the glucagon. And I will go over that if anybody wants to know what all of that means. Then I have the pre-meal drink before I eat anything, 10 minutes before I eat. So that's it. So a tea in the morning, a pre-meal drink before I eat anything. Now the pre-meal drink, not only does it slow down the sugars from going into my system, it helps me feel full before I even eat, and it helps me stay full longer because it's slowing down how quickly that food is digested into your system. So you're holding on. It's like time release instead of that stuff just running right through you like it does now, causing IBS. It can cause constipation. You need more water, by the way. Then it just slows all of that down. So you get full quicker, you stay full longer, you don't have cravings, and you're slowing down that blood sugar and insulin spike. What else? So it's the tea and the 2 pre-meal drinks, and it comes all as the system. So where did you buy it, Naya? If you bought it on Amazon, Walmart, eBay, you're not getting any of those. The guarantees and the coaching come when you purchase through an authorized distributor. There's nobody on those platforms, Amazon, Walmart, eBay, any of those, that's authorized to distribute. So you're not getting the guarantees. You're not getting any of that. If you want coaching and you want the guarantees, then use my link and purchase there, and I will definitely help you out. What is in the pre-meal mix? So the pre-meal is fibers, 7 different fibers. It's got phytonutrients and it's got vitamins and minerals in it. There's 4 different patented blends in there. One of them has, if you were to look on Google and see the fibers that you need to help regulate blood sugar, they're all in the pre-meal drink, but there's 7 different fibers. Yeah, so Naya, if you're buying on Amazon, Walmart, eBay, you're not getting coaching and you're not getting all the help. So use a link and purchase there. I will see you. I will start helping you. But I have to be honest. The people who are purchasing from me, I spend all day on the phone with them, so I have to prioritize them. If you want that kind of coaching, which is free, you got to buy through the link. And then you get the guarantees and stuff, okay? So I don't know where you purchased. If you don't have a coach, you can call the company and switch over so that you are getting coaching. Because I know a number of people have purchased and they don't have any contact with a coach. That's fine too. So there's 7 different fibers in the pre-meal drink. They're soluble and unsoluble, and that's important. So psyllium husk is not going to do the job. You have to have these 7 different soluble and unsoluble fibers. They're in a combination. They're made specifically in combination in specific amounts to give you the best impact for this insulin resistance and cholesterol. Okay, so which one do I drink first? My day goes like this. The first thing I do when I wake up in the morning, when I'm getting ready and doing my makeup, is I come out and I make my tea. I like mine in a lot of water, and to be honest, guys, I mix mine with some matcha tea. So I do our matcha chai oka ceremonial grade matcha, which is amazing tea for your metabolism as well. But I've learned to mix the two. So I have the tea and I have this, but you can just do the tea in the morning. That's what's in here. I mix my tea in at least 20 to 30 ounces of water on ice. I don't always put the matcha in, but most days I do. Tea first. You sip on that all morning. You don't have to chug it down. I sip on it all morning. By the time I'm ready to eat in the afternoon, whatever time that is, my fasting, since I usually eat by 6, my fasting window starts. And by 10 a.m., I'm at 16 hours of fasting. But I usually don't eat until about 12 or 1. Then I have the pre-meal drink before that meal, 10 minutes before, allowing it to get in my gut, thicken up, and do its job. Then I wait 4 to 6 hours. So noon to 6 hours is about 6 p.m. I have my second one before I eat, 10 minutes before. Then I eat my meal. So today I'm going to be having, because I bought some croissants the other day. I keep talking about them and it made me crazy. So I bought some, but I'm having a couple of eggs. I have some steak that needs cooked up in my fridge. So I'm going to have steak and eggs for breakfast with a croissant on the side. I will eat it in this order. I will have my fiber first, wait 10 minutes. I will eat the steak and eggs, maybe some avocado with it for healthy fats, and then I'll have the croissant at the very end. So that's exactly the order you should eat in too. Fiber, protein, fats, and then the rest of your carbs. Okay, so tea in the morning, pre-meal drink 10 minutes before I eat anything. Now, on a normal day, I eat 2 meals. But on some days when I'm out with family and whatever, maybe we're having appetizers or we're just hanging out, and I don't want to be the weird one being like, okay, you guys eat, do whatever you want. I'm not going to eat because I'm doing this thing. My family knows I fast and stuff, but there's times you just want to enjoy life. I just have another one of these. It's real food. It's not going to hurt you. I've had up to 6 of them in a day when I was out hanging out with friends. It's not like Monjaro and some of those things. You're not going to be taking an extra one, right? This just gives me the added protection before I eat anything, and it's what reversed my diabetes. That's it. Tea in the morning, a pre-meal drink before I eat anything. I usually do a 16-8 fast, meaning I have my dinner at 6. I don't eat again until 10 in the morning or noon. Then I have my next meal at 6. You guys, in those 2 meals, because I'm prioritizing healthy foods, I'm getting in a nice level of calories, but I'm also getting in good proteins and fats. So there's that. The tea, by the way, the tea does not break your fast. It actually helps your fast because it's helping you produce ketones. It's helping when glucagon is out. So now you're doing more fat burning. And because I want to give people changes. Like you can do things like add some extra ginger. That's why we have the lemon ginger for people who love it. Ginger, by the way, is super for your metabolism and your vascularity. You can mix some cinnamon in with it if you want. You can mix a little red pepper in it if you like things spicy. You can put a little stevia drops in it if you want to change the flavor up a little bit. I made up some chai spices at home. I have them in a little container, and every once in a while I have it hot and I put some chai spices in it. Amazing. So you can do a lot with the tea in the morning as long as it's things that are not breaking your fast. And none of those things I mentioned break your fast. So coffee does not break your fast for our purposes. Coffee will prevent your gut from resetting a lot, but it won't stop the autophagy, or not the autophagy, but it won't stop the glucagon phase and you burning fat for fuel. However, if you're adding sweeteners and creams or milk or those other things, it will break the fast. So black coffee, no. But if you're adding sugar and all of that to your coffee, yes. Matcha, you know what? When I have tested with the matcha, I've tested my ketones before I started drinking and after I started drinking. And within an hour after starting to drink my matcha, and then even a couple hours later, my ketones are not dropping. So for our purposes, remember, matcha is a green tea that they say you can have on a fast anyway. So I'm not sure why you thought the matcha breaks the fast. This matcha that I'm using does not break my fast. And I've done a lot of testing with my ketones to make sure that it wasn't. And skimmed milk will break your fast. You've removed all the fats and you've left the carbs. People need to understand that about fat. If you want milk or milk products, have a tablespoon of heavy, pure cream. Stop all the 2%, 1% stuff. Now you're just left with sugars and carbs, and you've taken out all the healthy fats. So keep in the heavy cream, a very small amount of it. It depends on who you study and who you read. For our purposes of insulin resistance, you can get in about 30 to 50 carbs as long as they're not high sugar carbs. So carbs can be things from proteins, or not proteins, fibers, but you don't want to go over about 50 grams of carbs. If you're talking fats, you're going to get more calories in without the carbohydrate spike, because fats don't really spike your insulin. You remove the fat from the milk and come up with skimmed milk. Now you're just spiking your insulin and you're not getting the healthy fats in. Okay. Acid reflux with coffee, then don't drink coffee. Yeah. Acid reflux. Now, to be very, very honest, when I first started, the tea gave me some acid reflux because my gut was so unhealthy. I just had to stick with it. So one of the tricks I did in the beginning when I was having a ton of acid reflux was I would have a fiber. Now, if you're looking at a gut reset, like a long-term extended fast, the fiber, it helps with some things, but it's not going to let the gut completely reset. However, and I talked to Dr. Bickman about this, I've done fasts where I had the balance, the pre-meal drink in my fasting window. My ketones actually went up. And if you guys don't understand why I keep talking about ketones, ask and I'll be happy to share. But so the fact that my ketones went up after doing my balance means that I didn't break my fast. Because my ketones, if insulin was present in my system, my ketones would be going down. So because this does such a good job coating your gut, if I was having acid reflux, a lot of times I would just have the balance all by itself instead of like antacids and all that, and it would just coat up my stomach. It would help me feel full. It would calm down those acids in my stomach, and it would keep me in a fasting state. Okay, so I hope that answers those questions. Oh, uh-oh. I lost my computer feed, and for some reason, my desk, my laptop, sorry everybody over on Facebook. Wow, that is just weird. So I apparently can't log back into my computer. I'm going to have to ditch the feed over there and figure this out. You guys, I have had so many weirdo computer glitches lately. It's not even funny. I swear.